All right, everybody, get ready, because today we've got a tech lover's dream list of articles all about Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, and Samsung.
Wow.
Yeah, right? We're talking the giants who are shaping how we live, work, and interact with each other. And today we're going to do a deep dive into their past, present, and maybe even get a glimpse into the future.
I think that's what's so remarkable looking at these companies is that they started with very specific goals in mind, but they've evolved, they've morphed into these massive tech ecosystem.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Really makes you think.
Think about like Amazon,
Yeah.
just starting as an online bookstore,
Right.
to now like practically delivering, everything under the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of transformations, Apple, once upon a time, just a computer company,
Right.
but now synonymous with, that sleek design, those user-friendly devices that are practically extensions of ourselves these days.
Yeah, that's so true. And you're right. I mean, like each of these companies has kind of become known for something like Apple has design.
Yeah.
Amazon owns e-commerce. Microsoft is like the software powerhouse behind Windows. And Google, well, let's face it, Google practically rules the internet.
Yeah, they're the gateway to information for so many of us, right?
Totally. Yeah, their search engine and everything that comes with it, like Gmail,
Yeah.
YouTube, Google Maps, like, come on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and how could we forget about Tesla?
Right.
Completely shaking up the automotive industry with their electric vehicles. And, they're pushing for this future powered by sustainable energy.
It's pretty incredible what they're doing.
It is. And Samsung, I mean, they're quietly over there building the chips that power so much of our tech.
Oh, yeah.
So, talk about influence.
They have a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's like this high-stakes game of chess, though.
Oh, absolutely.
With each of these companies making these strategic moves to try to, dominate the future. It's not just about staying in their lanes anymore, though. They're
Right.
like forging partnerships and branching out in ways we couldn't have imagined even a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. A perfect example of that is this whole OpenAI partnership.
Mhm.
And what's interesting is it involves both Apple and Microsoft.
Wow.
So this signals a real potential shift in the whole AI landscape. We're seeing these like traditional tech giants
Right.
joining forces with this cutting edge AI company. It's pretty unprecedented.
It makes you wonder, though, like who will ultimately control this super powerful technology.
Right. Is it going to be collaborative or will it be
Yeah.
some battle for supremacy?
Right. And then how will this impact the development of AI for the rest of us? I mean,
It's a big question, and it definitely raises concerns about accessibility and control.
absolutely. But, this partnership, I think, also speaks to this larger trend. Like the lines between different sectors of the tech world are becoming more and more blurred.
Yeah.
They're all kind of, converging, and all these companies are, positioning themselves to be at the forefront of this kind of convergence.
Yeah, vying for that top spot.
Exactly. So while Apple and Microsoft are, making these waves in AI, we can't forget about Samsung's role. Like, they're still the undisputed leader when it comes to semiconductors.
Oh, yeah. They're still the kings of the tiny brains that power all of our devices.
Yeah, it's like they're the wizards behind the curtain, like quietly making all this magic happen.
Right.
So, hats off to Samsung.
Absolutely. And their influence extends beyond just, supplying the chips.
Yeah.
They're dominant in smartphones, appliances.
Yeah.
They're already a major player in several key markets.
Yeah, you're right. And then there's Tesla going beyond electric vehicles with these ambitions that honestly seem straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
Elon Musk wants a world powered by sustainable energy, from solar-powered homes to like advanced battery technology.
So the very grand vision, for sure.
Ambitious, to say the least.
It is ambitious, but I think it speaks to this growing concern about, energy consumption and its impact on the environment, right? So Tesla's expansion into sustainable energy solutions like solar panels, battery storage,
Right.
it all highlights, this major shift in how we're thinking about this.
Okay, so we talked about their kind of like origin stories and what they're known for today, but let's get to the really exciting part, the future.
Yes.
These companies aren't just thinking about next year, they're envisioning the world we'll be living in a decade from now. And
It's really both exciting and a little bit daunting when you start to think about
totally.
what the potential implications are.
Yeah, so get this. Apple wants to be your health buddy.
Your health buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think wearables that track every step you take and even diagnose conditions before you even feel sick.
Wow.
Is this the future of healthcare, or is this like a step too far when it comes to data collection and privacy?
Right.
I don't know. It's a question worth considering.
Definitely. And then there's Amazon, They want to be involved in every aspect of our lives,
Right.
groceries, pharmacies, entertainment.
Right.
I mean, they're already deeply embedded in all of these areas, and they just continue to expand.
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line between convenience and giving a single company too much control?
Yeah. It's a good question, and it definitely raises some eyebrows.
It does.
But let's move on to Microsoft. They're focusing on making AI accessible to businesses of all sizes, basically trying to democratize this technology.
Okay.
Which sounds great in theory,
Sure.
but it also raises questions about potential disruption across industries and the workforce.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
I mean, making AI more accessible could lead to incredible innovation and efficiency, but it also has that potential to, disrupt existing industries, job markets.
Right.
How we adapt to these changes is going to be crucial.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's talk about Google. They already know so much about us, through our search history, our emails, our online activity. But their vision for the future is like hyper-personalized experiences.
Oh, my
Everything
God.
tailored to our individual preferences, which, sounds convenient.
Sure.
But at what cost to our privacy? I mean,
That's the key question we have to grapple with, right? Google has access to this vast amount of data, and it allows for this, level of personalization we've never seen before.
right.
But it also raises these serious concerns about data security and how that information might be used in the future.
And we can't forget Tesla's dream of a world powered entirely by renewable energy.
Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk wants to ditch fossil fuels completely. So think solar-powered homes, electric vehicles, a sustainable future.
Yeah.
I mean, is it achievable?
It's an ambitious goal for sure,
Yeah.
but, it's one that's becoming increasingly urgent. Tesla's success with electric vehicles and their investments in solar energy and battery storage,
Sure.
it shows that they're committed to making this vision a reality.
Yeah, they're putting their money where their mouth is.
They are.
And finally, we have Samsung quietly working on this connected future, the Internet of Things.
Ah, yes.
Imagine your fridge ordering groceries for you,
Right.
your car talking to your house, everything's seamlessly integrated.
It sounds incredibly convenient.
Right, but then you think about security and, who ultimately controls all that data.
Right. Well, the Internet of Things has this potential to revolutionize the way we live. But you're right. It also raises those concerns about data security and privacy.
Absolutely.
As our devices become more interconnected, ensuring, the safety and security of our data is paramount.
It's mind-blowing to think about how these companies started with these really specific focuses.
Right.
And have now become these like sprawling ecosystems touching nearly every aspect of our lives.
It's really a testament to their adaptability and their ambition.
Yeah.
But I think more importantly, it highlights how technology is reshaping the world around us and, raising these important questions about how we want to live
Totally.
in this increasingly digital future.
It's definitely a lot to process. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
From their humble beginnings to their current strategies and their ambitious plans for the future. But before we continue, we want to hear from you. What stood out to you the most in this initial exploration?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. It's fascinating to see how these tech giants, they're constantly adapting and evolving. It's like they're in this perpetual race to stay ahead of the curve and redefine what's possible.
You're absolutely right. I think that their journeys really highlight how dynamic the tech world is. It's not just about inventing something new. It's about constantly iterating, improving, finding ways to integrate these innovations into our lives.
Exactly. And let's take a closer look at some of their individual paths, starting with Apple.
Okay.
They've always been known for that sleek design and their user-friendly products.
Right.
But now they're venturing into the world of health tech with wearables that track our fitness and even aim to diagnose conditions.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing. I mean, I love my Apple Watch, for tracking my workouts, my sleep patterns. But the idea of it diagnosing my next cold is a bit, well, it makes me wonder about the line between convenience and reliance on technology for our health.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. I think Apple is definitely leveraging its brand loyalty and its existing user base to expand into this new territory.
Right.
And they're certainly well positioned to do so, but, the health tech landscape, it's complex.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how they navigate the regulatory challenges and address those concerns about data privacy and accuracy.
For sure. It's a delicate balance.
It is.
Speaking of navigating challenges, let's talk about Amazon.
Okay.
I mean, they faced increasing scrutiny over their market dominance and labor practices, but their growth seems unstoppable. I mean,
Talk about
from books to cloud computing to groceries, they've expanded their empire like relentlessly.
Well, I think Amazon's customer-centric approach and that focus on convenience
Right.
have been key drivers of their success.
Yeah.
But their rapid expansion also raises questions about the impact on smaller businesses and the need for fair competition.
Absolutely. And there's also the question of their impact on the environment. I mean,
Right.
their massive logistics network and their focus on fast delivery require a lot of resources and generate, a significant carbon footprint. So it seems like their success comes at a cost.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of consider whether that cost is sustainable in the long run.
Absolutely. As consumers, we need to be aware of the potential downsides of convenience and ask ourselves, do the benefits outweigh the costs?
Exactly. Now let's shift gears to Microsoft.
Okay.
They've always been a major player in the tech world, but their partnership with OpenAI signals a significant move into the world of AI.
Right.
It seems like they're positioning themselves as the go-to for businesses looking to harness the power of artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I think Microsoft's strength really lies in their enterprise solutions and their cloud infrastructure. So by integrating AI capabilities into their existing products and services,
Right.
they're making it easier for businesses to adopt and implement AI solutions without having to start from scratch.
Right. It's a smart strategy. It seems like they're taking a more practical, business-oriented approach to AI.
Yeah.
Focusing on, how it can improve efficiency and productivity.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how they compete with other players in the AI field like Google, who have been investing heavily in AI research for years.
Yeah, the AI landscape is constantly evolving. It's really difficult to predict who will emerge as the dominant player in the long run.
Yeah.
But Microsoft's deep roots in the business world definitely give them a strong foundation to build upon.
For sure. Speaking of Google, they've faced increasing scrutiny over their data collection practices and the power they wield over information.
Yeah.
It's a bit unsettling to think about how much they know about us based on our online activity.
It is. I mean, Google's dominance in search and advertising has given them access to this vast amount of data,
Right.
which they use to personalize our online experiences. And while this can be convenient, it also raises concerns about privacy and the potential for misuse of that data.
It's like a trade-off, isn't it? We enjoy the convenience of personalized search results and recommendations,
Right.
but we also sacrifice a certain level of privacy in the process. It's a conversation we need to have as a society. Like, how do we balance the benefits of data-driven technology with the need to protect our personal information?
It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but I think it's important that we're aware of the implications of our online activity and the data that we're sharing with these companies.
Absolutely. Okay, enough about the digital world. Let's talk about Tesla.
Okay.
They're not just building electric cars anymore. They're aiming to transform the entire energy sector.
Right.
With this focus on sustainable solutions, it's a really bold vision.
Yeah, Tesla's ambition extends beyond just reducing our reliance on fossil fuels.
Right.
They're investing in solar energy, battery storage, and even exploring ways to create a decentralized energy grid.
Wow.
They're essentially trying to change the way we think about and consume energy.
That's huge. I mean, it's a big challenge, to say the least.
It is.
They're facing competition from, these established energy companies, and the transition to renewable energy is a complex process that requires significant infrastructure changes. But Tesla's success in disrupting the automotive industry suggests they shouldn't be underestimated.
Right. They've proven their ability to innovate and challenge the status quo. Whether they can achieve their ambitious goals in the energy sector remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But they're certainly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Totally. And finally, we have Samsung, the quiet giant, who often gets overlooked in these conversations about, tech giants. But their role in the tech world is absolutely crucial.
Oh, it's critical.
They're the ones making the chips that power our smartphones, our computers, countless other devices.
Right. Samsung's dominance in semiconductor manufacturing gives them this unique position. In the tech ecosystem, they're essentially supplying the building blocks for innovation across the industry.
Yeah, and they're not just content with being a supplier. They're also pushing the boundaries with their own consumer electronics and appliances.
Right, for sure.
Their vision for a connected future, the Internet of Things, is particularly intriguing.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a world where your fridge can order groceries for you.
Right.
Your car can adjust the thermostat in your house. All your devices are seamlessly integrated.
Yeah, the Internet of Things has this potential to make our lives easier, more efficient.
Right.
But it also raises concerns about data security and privacy.
Mm-hmm.
As our devices become more interconnected, it's crucial that we consider the potential risks and ensure that our data is protected.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground in this exploration of the tech giants,
We have.
from their origins to their current strategies and their ambitious visions for the future.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's clear that these companies are not just shaping the technology we use.
Right.
They're shaping the world we live in.
And their influence is only going to grow as technology continues to advance at this unprecedented pace.
Yeah.
So it's up to us as consumers, as citizens, to stay informed,
Right.
engage in critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and make conscious choices about how we interact with these technologies and the companies that create them.
You're absolutely right. We need to be aware of the potential benefits and risks of these technologies and make sure they're being used in ways that benefit humanity as a whole.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, we want to hear your thoughts. What part of this discussion resonated with you the most? It's amazing to think about how interconnected all of these tech giants are. Like, they're all players in this giant ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Each one influencing the others in ways we might not even realize.
It's true. Their actions really have ripple effects across the entire industry. Think about the OpenAI partnership we talked about earlier.
Right.
It's not just about Apple and Microsoft.
Yeah. Exactly. It sparked this wave of investment in AI across the entire tech world, with companies kind of scrambling to keep up and develop their own AI capabilities.
Right. It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
And it highlights how these companies are competing on multiple fronts, not just in their established markets.
Mm-hmm.
They're all vying for a piece of the AI pie, recognizing its potential to transform everything from software to healthcare to,
Yeah, it's a high-stakes race for sure.
It is.
And it's fascinating to watch how it unfolds.
It is.
And while we're talking about interconnectedness, we can't forget about Samsung's crucial role in all of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Their dominance in the semiconductor market gives them incredible leverage.
It does. They're supplying the brains for so much of the innovation we're seeing.
Right.
Which gives them this unique perspective on the industry. It's like they have a front row seat.
Totally.
To the technological revolution.
They're kind of like the quiet powerhouse behind the scenes, quietly shaping the future while everyone else is grabbing the headlines. And speaking of shaping the future, we have to talk about Tesla and their ambitious plans for sustainable energy.
Yes, Tesla's going beyond electric vehicles.
Right.
And trying to really change the way we think about energy consumption as a whole.
Yeah.
Their investments in solar energy, battery storage, and even the idea of a decentralized energy grid are truly game-changing if they can pull it off.
It's like they're trying to rewrite the rules of the energy industry.
Yeah.
Challenging the status quo and pushing for a future that's, less reliant on fossil fuels.
Right.
It's a vision that could have a profound impact on the fight against climate change.
It could. And, their success in the electric vehicle market shows they're capable of disrupting established industries.
Mm-hmm.
But the energy sector is complex.
Yeah.
And it remains to be seen whether they can overcome the challenges and achieve those ambitious goals.
It's true. It's almost like we're all part of this giant experiment. These companies are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and we're along for the ride as consumers and citizens.
It is an exciting time to be alive. But I think it's also important to be aware of the potential implications of these technological advancements. We need to ask the tough questions about ethics, about privacy, about the long-term consequences of these innovations.
You're right. It's not just about blindly embracing the latest gadgets or services. It's about understanding how these technologies are shaping our world.
Absolutely.
Making sure they're being used in ways that benefit humanity as a whole.
I completely agree.
Well, so as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of tech giants, I want to leave you with this thought. These companies have their visions for the future, but what about yours?
Right. What kind of world do you want to see?
Exactly. And how can we use technology to get there?
It's a question worth pondering.
It is. The future of technology is ultimately in our hands.
Mm-hmm.
We have the power to shape it, to use it for good, and to create a world that's more just equitable and sustainable for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's it for our exploration of these tech titans. We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought.
Yes.
And inspired you to continue exploring the ever-evolving world of technology.
Absolutely. And as always, stay curious, keep asking questions,
Yes.
and never stop learning.
Until next time, keep Diving deep.